65 to 75 mile per hour winds, hurricane force winds and snow at the same time hitting North Carolina. You need to hear those numbers again. 65 to 75 mile per hour winds, while 8 to 10 inches of snow is dumping on the Outer Banks. That is a legitimate blizzard. Are you in the path of this monster? In the next 60 seconds, I am revealing every single city that is about to get buried and exactly when your snow starts. Drop your location in the comments right now. I am going live with updates all day tomorrow, and I need to know where you are so I can give you personalized timing. I am reading every single comment tonight. The more specific you are with your city and neighborhood, the better I can dial in your forecast for tomorrow's critical update. Do it now while you rethinking about it. Here is your reward for staying with me. Charlotte, you are looking at 8 to 9 inches. Raleigh, 5 to 8 inches with timing issues. I'll explain. Jacksonville to New Bern to Kill Devil Hills, widespread 8 to 10 inches, and I would be shocked if some spots Dante exceed 12 inches. Columbia, South Carolina, 7 inches possible. Greenville, 5 to 6 inches. Atlanta, 1 to 2 inches. But here's what nobody is talking about. This isn't just a snowstorm. We have shelter-in-place warnings issued for the eastern side of North Carolina. When was the last time you heard that for a winter storm? This storm impacts millions of people across a massive geographic range. We're talking about winter storm impacts from the Florida Panhandle all the way up to Cape Cod. The entire state of Georgia will experience 40 to 45 mile per hour wind gusts. The whole state of Florida is getting hit by strong winds. Every single interstate from Interstate 26 to 95 to 74 is about to become impassable. Augusta, Columbia, Charlotte, Raleigh, Fayetteville, Wilmington, Jacksonville, Greenville, Kill Devil Hills, even up towards Virginia Beach. If you try to drive on these roads tomorrow, you will get stuck. We have millions of people in the moderate risk zone for major winter storm impacts. This is not an exaggeration. The death toll from our most recent ice storm is now over 100 people. We still have 60,000 people without power in Nashville alone. More people scattered across Mississippi, Tennessee, and Kentucky still sitting in the dark. And now we are about to slam the Carolinas with this. Here's the timeline, and this happens in phases. Right now, as I am recording this on Friday evening, January 30th, we already have snow falling on the northwestern side of the Appalachian Mountains. A couple of places from Knoxville up to portions of Southwest Virginia up to Beckley, West Virginia are picking up a couple of inches. But this is not the main event. This is just the appetizer. But here's what makes this different. We have two dynamics at once. A mesoscale low west of the main low off South Carolina's coast could pull snow squalls into Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, even Dothan and the Florida Panhandle. Yes, literal snow in Florida tomorrow. The main low undergoes bombogenesis. Think hurricane, but winter. Pressure drops fast. Storm intensifies rapidly. Models show it looking like a hurricane by tomorrow afternoon. That circular structure, tight pressure gradient, except snow instead of rain, Arctic cold instead of tropical warmth. Critical science about your snow totals. When upper-level winds spread apart, air rushes up creating storms. But we also have a dry slot that could develop, a zone of sinking dry air punching into the storm's middle. I warned about this days ago. Enough dry air could dramatically reduce snow in Sumter, Fayetteville, Asheboro, Sanford, Raleigh, Greensboro, Virginia Beach. Could even impact Charlotte if significant. Latest models show a significant dry slot. But high-resolution models aren't great at resolving low-pressure centers over water. Not set in stone for Raleigh, but it is one possibility in this dynamic setup. Dante, get emotionally attached to your totals. Jacksonville to Beaufort, New Bern, Kill Devil Hills, Elizabeth City, definitely not getting dry slotted. Blizzard by 11 a.m. tomorrow. Storm chasers positioning now to capture one of the area's strongest storms in a very long time. Look at how both the American GFS model and the European model agree on this. When both models agree, our confidence is high. They both show this massive low-pressure center spinning up off the coast. They both show the expansion of the precipitation shield. They both show the wind field. The only disagreement is in the exact placement of the dry slot and how far north the heaviest snow extends. That's what I'll be refining for you in tomorrow's update. Just like I promised at the start, here's your detailed city-by-city breakdown. I'm going to vary my delivery so this doesn't feel like a list. Every city has a unique angle, and I want you to understand exactly what you are facing. Atlanta, your window is narrow. Snow moves into the metro tomorrow morning. Interstate 16, 75, 20, and 85 will be treacherous between Atlanta, Greenville, and Charlotte. 1 to 2 inches for Atlanta proper, 3 to 4 inches in northern suburbs toward Gainesville. Timing hits Saturday daytime. Roads deteriorate quickly in below freezing temps. Athens and Gainesville, Georgia, 3 to 4 inches. Northeast Georgia mountains, 6 inches possible. Higher elevations enhance totals. Augusta, Georgia, URI on the edge, 1 to 2 inches, but that mesoscale low could fire intense snow squalls early Saturday. Don't be surprised if you see heavy snow briefly. Knoxville, Tennessee, 4 to 5 inches total. Higher Smokies elevations could see 16 inches. The mountains get absolutely buried. Greenville, South Carolina, this is going to be severe for you. 5 to 6 inches expected. Interstate 26 between Asheville and Columbia is going to be extremely difficult to travel. You are in the bullseye for this. Heavy snow starts falling Saturday morning and continues into the afternoon. Snow rates could exceed 2 to 3 inches per hour when you under the heaviest bands. Greenwood, South Carolina, 7 inches. You on the higher end of the spectrum. You'll see that moderate to heavy snow developing early Saturday morning. This persists through much of the day. Expect whiteout conditions during peak snowfall. Columbia, South Carolina, here's your situation, and I want to be transparent about the uncertainty. The range is 2 to 7 inches. I am leaning towards the higher end, somewhere around 7 inches, because I don't think you're going to get dry slotted too much. But if that dry slot does develop and parks over you for several hours, you could end up closer to 2 or 3 inches. Either way, you are getting significant snow. It starts Saturday morning, and the heavier snow develops around 11 a.m. This continues into Saturday evening. Charleston, South Carolina, it's not out of the question that you see some snow tomorrow around 2 p.m. We are talking maybe an inch possible. This is not your main threat. Your threat is the wind and the coastal impacts. Florence, South Carolina, 7 inches possible. You are positioned well for heavy snow. The Interstate 95 corridor through your area is going to be a mess. Don't even think about traveling. Myrtle Beach and North Myrtle Beach, this is where things get wild. North Myrtle Beach could see 2 to 3 inches, maybe more. You're going to have crazy impacts from the wind. We could be talking about winds up to 60 miles per hour. Combined with any snow falling, you're going to have blowing and drifting. The beaches are going to see significant coastal flooding and erosion. Charlotte, North Carolina, you are in a tough spot forecast-wise. The range is 4 to 9 inches. On the high end, I think we could see 8 or 9 inches. On the low end, from the European model, we looking at 4 inches. I'd put my bet somewhere around 5 to 8 inches. Why the range? It depends on how that dry slot behaves. If it stays south of you, you get the higher totals. If it extends north and parks over you for a while, totals come down. Snow begins Saturday morning. Interstate 85 is going to have major problems. This isn't just the depth of snow. We are going to have snow rates exceeding 2 to 3 inches per hour under the heaviest bands. If you get under one of these bands where it's snowing really hard, it's going to be blinding snow. Raleigh, North Carolina, pretty much the same story as Charlotte. 5 to 8 inches is possible. But on the low end from the European model, we are looking at just 3 inches if that dry slot really develops. Here's what I can tell you with certainty. If it's not snowing earlier in the day, it will be snowing later in the day. That precipitation gap is going to fill in. By 9 p.m. Saturday, you will definitely be seeing snow. The question is how much falls before the dry slot potentially develops and how long it lasts. Fayetteville, Asheboro, Sanford, Greensboro, you are all in that same boat as Raleigh. 5 to 8 inches possible, but with dry slot uncertainty. I'll have much better clarity on this tomorrow as I see how the models are trending overnight. Wilmington, North Carolina, you are going to get hit and hit hard. Even well away from the low-pressure center, wind gusts could reach 30 to 40 miles per hour. This is going to be light, fluffy snow because it's so cold. That leads to blowing snow and drifting snow. Visibility will be severely reduced. Expect 8 to 10 inches. Jacksonville, Beaufort, and New Bern, North Carolina, you are in the absolute worst spot. Widespread 8 to 10 inches of snow. I would be shocked if we don't have a couple of places that exceed 12 inches. This is not just about snow totals. You're going to experience blizzard conditions. The wind is going to be gusting potentially over 60 miles per hour by 11 p.m. Saturday. The strongest winds hit around 3 a.m. Sunday morning, 65 to 75 mile per hour wind gusts. Those are hurricane force winds, and it's happening while heavy snow is falling. These are onshore winds, so not only do you have snow coming down and hurricane-force winds, you also have coastal flooding. Huge waves are going to be crashing up against the coast. All that sea spray is getting frozen. This is why we have shelter-in-place warnings for much of the eastern side of North Carolina. The closer you are to the coast, the worse it's going to be. This is a long-duration event for you. It continues impacting coastal areas into the early morning hours Sunday. Kill Devil Hills, this is your storm of storms. You are ground zero. Everything I just said about Jacksonville applies to you, but even more intense. 8 to 10 inches of snow minimum. Blizzard conditions with 60 to 75 mile-per-hour winds. Shelter in place. Do not go outside. Do not travel. This is life-threatening. Elizabeth City, you're getting hammered too. Same blizzard conditions, same dangerous winds. This starts Saturday morning and doesn't let up until Sunday. Virginia Beach, this doesn't look like a big-time snowstorm for you. You are so close to the heavy snow, but just on the northern edge. Right now, I'd say 4 inches on the high end, maybe 2 to 4 inches is safer. The European model shows potentially 4 inches. The American model shows less. I am going with 2 to 4 inches. You'll still see impacts, you'll still see wind, but you're not getting buried like areas to your south. Now let's talk about what happens north of Virginia, because this affects millions more people, even though they are not getting significant snow. The storm starts moving north and east Sunday. Notice how thin that precipitation shield becomes. We are not expecting any significant snow in the Delmarva area, New Jersey, Long Island, or even most of Cape Cod. Cape Cod could still get kind of sideswiped, and we could see some accumulation up there, maybe 6 inches on the high end, 1 inch on the low end from the European model. But it's not the blizzard we were originally looking at. But here's the thing. Everybody along the coast from the Carolinas all the way up to Maine is going to get hit by this storm in the form of winds and coastal flooding. Coastal flooding is going to be a problem in New Jersey, Delaware, New York, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Massachusetts, up even to Maine, even in places where it doesn't snow a single snowflake. That wind field is massive. All this wind is going to drive potential coastal flooding problems all the way up to Cape Cod and beyond. Now here's what just got more complicated. After this storm moves through, another dangerous bout of cold air comes down behind it. Remember, we still have people without power from the ice storm. The unfortunate death toll is now over 100, and we were about to hit them with another round of brutal cold. Look at these temperatures Sunday morning. It's going to be near 10 degrees in Nashville. With the wind chill, it'll be below zero. 4 degrees in St. Louis, 10 degrees in Chicago. Cold in upstate New York, Michigan, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, Canada. But what's really interesting is how far south this cold air goes. The temperature in Birmingham Sunday morning, 16 degrees. That's crazy. 16 degrees in Atlanta. That's wild. It is widespread, 15 degrees across the Carolinas and Virginia up into the mid-Atlantic. The temperature in Tallahassee Sunday morning might be 21 degrees. With the wind chill, it might be literally 5 degrees. We're going to have very intense cold in Tampa. It's going to be near freezing in Miami. With the wind, it will feel like below freezing. It might even feel below freezing in portions of the Bahamas. This is an insane area of cold air. And yes, we are still talking about the real potential for some snow in Tampa. We talking about Gulf effect snow. This is very possible. The warm Gulf water is going to act like the Great Lakes do and provide snow squalls in Florida. Anywhere from Cedar Key through the Villages, maybe even into Orlando, down through the Nature Coast into Tampa, as far south as Arcadia, we could see snow and it could pile up on the ground. I wouldn't be shocked if we got a coating of snow in Tampa on Sunday as a result of Gulf effect snow. Can you believe that? And the chances are decreasing, but are still not zero, that we might see snow in the Bahamas for the first time since the 1970s. It's much more likely we see it in Florida, but the Bahamas is still in play. This is the exact kind of weather that causes iguanas to fall out of trees in Florida. If you need an official falling iguana alert, there you go. We do have hard freeze warnings and extreme cold warnings in effect for portions of the Nature Coast and interior suburbs of Tampa and Orlando. This is the first time that a lot of these types of warnings have been issued for Florida in decades. This is not just jacket weather. This is life-threatening cold for vulnerable populations. This is a critical threat to agriculture and infrastructure. Citrus growers, you know exactly what I am talking about. You've been through this before, but not in a long time. Protect your crops. Protect your pipes. For the South, not used to this cold-specific advice, let faucets drip Saturday, Sunday, Monday nights. Wrap exposed pipes. Bring pets inside seriously. Check on elderly neighbors and anyone vulnerable. Snow travel. Do not travel Saturday on Interstates 26, 95, 74, 85. You will get stuck. Cruise can keep up with 2 to 3 inch per hour rates. Keep half tank of gas minimum. If stuck, you need heat. Make sure exhaust pipe is clear if running engine. Power outages, major concern, especially Outer Banks and coastal North Carolina. Hurricane force winds plus heavy snow on lines means widespread outages likely. Have flashlights, batteries, phone chargers, food and water for 72 hours. Frostbite territory Sunday morning for most of you. Exposed skin freezes in 15 to 30 minutes with wind chill. Cover all skin, wear layers, wear a hat. Here is what makes the timing critical. This storm arrives on a Saturday. That means people might think they can venture out because they are not commuting to work. Do not do that. Stay home. Shelter in place if you are on the coast of North Carolina. There is nothing worth risking your life for. The sequence is what makes this dangerous. We get the snow first. Heavy rates, low visibility, dangerous travel. Then we get the extreme cold behind it. Then some areas get Gulf effect snow or additional lake effect snow. It's layer upon layer of winter weather impacts, and it's not going away quickly. Way too early for details, but not too early to track. There is another potential system we are watching for next week. I don't have specifics yet, models are still developing this, but the pattern supports additional storm potential. I'll know more by tomorrow, and I'll cover that in my next update. Key timeline recap. Saturday morning, snow begins across Georgia and Carolinas. Through Saturday, heavy snow develops. Saturday evening, blizzard conditions on Outer Banks. Saturday night into Sunday morning, peak coastal winds. Sunday morning, extreme cold everywhere. Sunday, possible Gulf effect snow in Florida. Heavy snow Jacksonville to New Bern to Kill Devil Hills, 8 to 12 inches with blizzard conditions. Significant snow Charlotte to Raleigh to Columbia to Greenville, 5 to 8 inches. Moderate snow Atlanta to Augusta to Knoxville, 1 to 5 inches. Wind impacts entire coast Florida to Maine. Extreme cold Bahamas to Canada. Dawn T mist tomorrow S update. Live by 8 a.m. Eastern, possibly earlier if major changes overnight. Things could shift. New model data overnight. 50-mile track shift changes everything for edge cities. Make sure you resubscribe because tomorrow S update is critical. Turn on your notifications. Bell icon. You will want this information as the storm unfolds. I am going through all the comments tonight to see where you are. Drop your city one more time if you haven't already. Let me know where you're rewatching from so I can give you personalized updates tomorrow. Check on your elderly neighbors this weekend. Check on anyone vulnerable to the cold, anyone who might lose power and not have heat. This is when community matters. I'm not panicking you, I am informing you. My goal is accurate information so you make informed decisions. If IV succeeded, I appreciate your trust. Tomorrow brings updated overnight model data, refined snow totals as models converge, temperature adjustments for Sunday, wind timing details for coast, and preliminary info on additional systems next week. Tuesday night, prepare for snow areas. Wednesday, prepare for extreme cold. Dawn T wait. This is multifaceted and dangerous. Heavy snow, blizzard conditions, extreme cold, coastal flooding, wind damage, all at once across a huge area. The Outer Banks will see conditions that area hasn't experienced in a very long time. The southeast faces cold it hasn't felt in years. Florida might see snow. The Bahamas might see snow, historic in scope. I am giving you facts based on best available data. European and American models agree on overall setup, differ on details I'll refine tomorrow. Critical updates tomorrow morning. Track shifts possible overnight. Subscribe. Turn on notifications. See you